Welcome to Minutes with Linus, brought to you by Wellness Woman 40 and Beyond. Embark on this journey with me, Linus Woods Mullins, your certified holistic living and wellness expert for women over 40, as we explore tips for an ever-growing mind, body, and spirit in just a few minutes. Hello, everybody. Well, happy Thursday. And for those in the Wellness Woman group, good morning and happy Tribute Thursday. For those of you in the Wellness Woman group, don't forget to post a woman that you know of, that you want to give tribute to, that you want to salute to, that you want to put a spotlight on, that you're grateful for, a woman that's made a difference in your life. We want to hear those stories because they're always encouraging. And for those of you who don't belong to the Wellness Woman group, I'm going to give you a little information on how you can do that towards the end of this broadcast. For those of you who are new to the group or maybe new and following me, my name is Linus Woods Mullins, and I am a certified holistic living and wellness coach. Good morning. I'm a holistic living and wellness coach for women over 40. I have two webcasts that I produce, The Wellness Journey Live and also Living Well Women, which comes on tonight at 5 o'clock right here in the group or on my profile page. Don't miss it. 3 awesome other women are with me, C. Renee Washington, Keisha Dixon, and Dr. Drayvon James. And tonight we're going to be talking about women of color and plastic surgery. So don't miss it. Make sure you're there, 5 o'clock. Pacific Standard Time and 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 7 o'clock Central Standard Time for my friends in the Central time zone. Don't want to forget you. But anyway, I also have a magazine called Wellness Woman 40 and Beyond, and we do post it in the group and on my social media. Take a look at that. It's an online magazine which focuses on issues that I think women over 40 care about when it comes to their mind, body, spirit wellness. And be watching out for details on my Wellness Woman webinars. I'm going to be covering some topics where you can register and take a quick class for about an hour to find out different ways to enhance your overall wellness as you age. And today I'm giving you a kind of like some bonus tips that I won't be talking about in my seminars, but wanted to share this with you because I thought it was important. I came across yesterday some information about women and anxiety, and also the whole idea about as we age, how some of our emotions begin to change, and we're not quite sure why it is. We just know that it's happening. So I wanted to talk today about tips to deal with anxiety and feelings of vulnerability as we age, because they are really real. I'm going to go through these kind of quickly because I have a show to do like in about 20 minutes, another show on another Facebook Live. But I wanted to cover these with you because I think it's really important. And I'm going to be going more into these symptoms and things to do about these symptoms in my webinars. I have a webinar coming up on the 13th, I believe it is, next week. And I believe that is the anti-aging webinar. And I'm going to be talking a little bit about these symptoms as well and things that you can do. Anxiety and feelings of vulnerability as we age, first of all, is very normal. And I'm not talking about the anxiety that comes from post-traumatic stress or some other chemical imbalance. I'm just talking about some of the things that we feel as we age. And maybe we weren't feeling it before and we're thinking, oh God, something's wrong with me. Well, first of all, let me tell you that you are not alone and to accept your feelings. Go ahead and accept the fact that, you know, on this particular day, you're feeling a little anxious, feeling a little vulnerable, feeling a little uncomfortable in your skin, and you don't know why. Sometimes you're feeling that way because of some kind of chemical imbalance that happened during the night, and you wake up and you're like, oh. Other times it could be from events that have happened long ago, and now for whatever reason they're rearing their ugly heads, and you're beginning to feel these feelings that don't seem to go away and don't seem to have a reason for it. But if you dig deep just a little bit and begin to accept the feelings, also look for, you know, what could be causing it. Part of dealing with an issue of concern is recognizing that you have it and then trying to figure out what the causation might be. Now, to get rid of that feeling, that, you know, that feeling of trepidation, anxiety, feeling vulnerable, there are several different techniques that you can try. I recommend yoga. It's a wonderful way to release stress. And the stretching that goes on with yoga is very good. And it seems to help regulate feelings and to release that feeling of anxiety. I know it works for me. Now, there are some who still, feel the way they feel about yoga from a religious perspective, but I am talking about the yoga that you use for stretching. It helps you with balance. It helps you with bone health. It helps to strengthen you, and it does help to relieve stress. Another thing you might want to take a look at is meditation, just sitting quietly. We move around so much during the course of our day that we never really just sit and allow ourselves to be. If you're going to meditate, maybe you might want to meditate on a scripture or an affirmation or something that focuses you on something positive. Maybe you want to meditate while looking at a beautiful scenery, maybe being outside in nature and just sitting in nature and spending some quiet time. That's really important. Good morning. I'm on a different platform, so I cannot see the names of the people I'm saying good morning to. So when you say good morning to me, let me know who you are so I can say your name. Okay, thank you. Another thing that you might want to do, and I kind of mentioned this a little bit. Oh, the different techniques, let me forget, was one other thing you can try doing, is tapping. The art of tapping. And I will be talking more about that in my seminar. So basically, tapping means that you tap on the key pulse points here and on the sides and here. And doing that helps to release and adjust your energies. There is a woman by the name of Keisha Dixon who is an expert in tapping. You should check her out. Keisha Dixon is also one of the co-hosts on Living Well Women. She is an authority on tapping. You might want to check her out, but we're also going to be talking about that on the next webinar on the 13th. So try that. Try exercising, get out and move a little bit. Try yoga, try stretching, and you can also look up more information about the art of tapping and meditation, getting quiet. Another thing that can help with anxiety is just getting out and going somewhere. Change your scenery. Okay, if you've been in all day and you're feeling anxious and feeling a little vulnerable, get out. Go somewhere, do something, get out in nature, go for a walk, take a bus ride if you don't feel like driving, go to the mall and walk up and down the mall. Just get out, change your scenery. I know for me, because I have an anxiety disorder, or I had an anxiety disorder. And my anxiety disorder came from something that happened to me in my life, post-traumatic stress. And interestingly enough, and I'll talk more about this in my Distress the Mess webinar, post-traumatic stress does not always mean that you got it from some kind of physical violence that you were involved in. Sometimes it's an event that triggers you, that causes you to hang on to certain kinds of negative feelings, and they present in the form of anxiety. And that was what my situation was. When I finally found out what it was, I got treatment for it. And then I began to use these very same things that I'm telling you right now to keep from always feeling it all the time. So getting out and changing your scenery makes a big difference. The other thing you might want to do is, and this is really important, maintain a sense of purpose. Especially as we age, it's important that you still maintain a sense of purpose. If you're retired, volunteer, help someone, get involved in some kind of meetup group, or maybe start a book club. Do something that gives you a purpose. And, I truly do believe that God planted within all of us certain gifts, talents, and abilities that He gave us to be able to help us pursue our purpose. And I realize that many times. Good morning, Teresa Strickland. Thank you for joining me today. It's great to know that you're there. But, sometimes people think, well, I don't know what my passion is, or I don't know what my purpose is. But I'm telling you, you do have something that you've always wanted to pursue, but you just didn't do it because of so many things that got in the way. Start thinking about that. And start really digging deep to figure out what it is you do want to do when you grow up, so to say. I always tell people that retirement is wonderful if you have a plan. It's not so great if you don't. So if you're going to be retiring, start planning the kinds of things that you're going to do so that you can maintain your sense of purpose. Have a plan. And that plan should not just include taking care of the grandkids. I mean, that's great, okay? But I kind of think that maybe your purpose might be a little bit more than just raising your grandchildren, okay? Or in some cases, visiting all your kids who are around the world. Sometimes, hi, Penelope Larry. Oh, thank you. Thank you for being with us today. Sometimes we get so myopic in kind of redoing what we've already done. We felt good raising our kids. It was successful. So it's easy to fall into raising the grandchildren, still being a helicopter parent with our grown children. But I'm talking about finding a purpose outside of that, something that you've always wanted to do. There's some of you maybe who've always wanted to paint. Maybe you've got a book in you that you'd like to do. Maybe you want to go back to school, or maybe you want to find another job doing something that you're interested in and not be so worried about having to make a certain amount of money. But it's just something you want to do. Who knows? Maybe you always wanted to work at a Starbucks. Who knows? Whatever it is, maintain a sense of purpose. And then once you figure out what that sense of purpose is, you maintain it by actually doing it. Create a plan so you can actually do that thing that you've been putting out for so long. Someone said, "You're so right. I did not have a plan, and so now I'm floundering." I understand that. And, for those of you who are going through that, I can definitely help you with that. I am a certified life coach as well as a holistic living and wellness coach. And my coach told me that I need to tell more and more people about what it is that I do, which is so funny because I've been doing it for 10 years. But I don't, toot my own horn a lot like that. But I am letting women know because this is really becoming more and more in the frame of my awareness because I'm 62. So my friends are getting older with me and they're all approaching retirement. And I have 2 friends that I have to sit down and say, "Look, I love you. And I'm telling you this because I love you. You're spending way too much time taking care of your grandbabies. That is not what we talked about, what we wanted to do when we retired. I know you've always wanted to have your own store, maybe start a modeling group for seniors, other kinds of things. It's time for you to do you, whatever that is." And she's like, "You know what? You are right." So that's why it's important when you're going through these feelings of anxiety and vulnerability that you get out of your head and reach out to someone, a friend, maybe even an acquaintance. You never know. I believe that God puts people in our lives for a reason, for a season. Okay. So if you are at a point in your life where you just don't know, or not even in your life, on this particular day, you're feeling anxious, you can't get out of your head, your self-talk is getting kind of negative, reach out to someone and just say, "Hey, I just need to, spend a little time with you, talking to you." When my friends and I call, I say, "Girl," I'll call my girlfriend and say, "I need some girlfriend time." It's so funny. I was in Washington, D.C. for a couple of weeks, spending great time with my daughter. I'm so proud of her. She's 34, doing it and making it in DC, in the heart of DC, living in a beautiful place where a lot of other millennials who make 6 figures live. That's great. But I'm telling you, after about 5 or 6 days, I needed some girlfriend time with some folks my age. I just needed to be around people my age. So I called my girlfriend and I said, "I need some girlfriend time." And she knew, "Girl, okay, I'll call you right back in 5 minutes." And then we just talk, laugh, just get it out, instead of staying in our head. Many times when we're in our head, there's so many lies we tell ourselves. And let's remember something else. While we want to make note of how we're feeling, let's remember that our feelings aren't always based on fact and reality. They're feelings, they're not facts. So when you feel yourself feeling a little anxious, feeling a little vulnerable, feeling, like something's just not right, and you're staying inside and not talking to anyone about it, don't do that. Don't self-select out. Reach out and call someone. And here's another thing when you're feeling that way. Hello, do something fun. Watch a funny movie. Go to a funny movie. I'm not saying binge watch Netflix, not necessarily that. I mean, if it's something funny, but do something fun. If you enjoy going out to Starbucks and getting yourself one of those sugary drinks, just for the day, not all the time, then do that. You want to go out to lunch with a friend, want to go to a bookstore and browse at the library, go to a play, do something fun every day. Now, I work from home. And I don't always get out every single day. In fact, my husband gets on my case about that. But you know what? Even though I don't go out every single day, I do have fun. I do. You know what I do for fun when I'm home and working from home? One of the things that I do, you can't see this, but you can't see it, darn it. But anyway, maybe you can see it back this way. I don't know. Okay, anyway. Okay, you can see it a little bit. I color cards. I do adult coloring. That's what I do. It relaxes me. I love the end result. And actually, for those of you who ordered books early from me, the books are on their way. You're going to get one of my cards as well as my signing the book. So you can see what I've been doing. And if they're not, I would never sell them, but it's fun for me to do. The other thing I like to do when I'm at home, I put on my gospel music or some of my favorite artists, and I turn up as loud as my husband will allow it, which is pretty loud, and listen to my music. Sometimes I get up and I dance like no one's watching. These are things that are fun for me to do. And I don't get so preoccupied with thinking about, well, what is everybody else thinking about? You know something else I like to do that's fun? When I do get out, because I do have to go to the grocery store. So when I'm grocery shopping, I have my music on and I dance down the aisles. Yeah, I know it's a little strange. That's okay. I don't care. It makes me happy. It's not hurting anyone. A lot of times people are like, oh yeah, what are you listening to? Do the things that bring you that childlike joy, even when you're feeling anxious. What book? Oh, I'll share it with you in just a second. Thank you for asking. Do the things that you know will bring you joy. And this seems like an obvious, but I want to emphasize this because as we age, it's truly important. We have to sleep. Even if that means in the middle of the day, you need to take a power nap. And sleep is good for any age, but especially as you age, we need to make sure our bodies are shutting down so they can repair themselves. Oops. Sorry, that's my daughter. We have to make sure that we shut our bodies all the way down. And the best way to shut your bodies all the way down so it can repair itself for cell regeneration, because we still are producing new cells. Yes, we are getting older and in the process of going on to our maker, so to speak. But that doesn't mean that we still don't have new cells that come up and repair themselves. It's called healing. That's why we still heal, even at the age of 62. I still heal. I got a scratch the other day. It healed in 2 days, okay? You can still heal yourself by sleeping, getting a good night's sleep, giving your brain an opportunity to repair its neurons, giving your liver an opportunity to work properly so it can detox and work through all the toxins that we present either knowingly or unknowingly to our body every day. So those are just a few things that you can do. And you should really come to my webinars. I'll be posting more information about that, and I'll be going into more detail about the kinds of things that you can do to slow the aging process, reduce your stress, and also the things that you can do to minimize those menopause symptoms. I know I'm right there with you. Most of the things I talked about, I've already done or I'm going to do. So we can learn together. And someone asked about my book. So here it is. Just go to this bit.ly. It's called Power Up Superwoman. And it's a book I wrote in conjunction with 16 other women. And I had an opportunity to read their book, what they wrote before the book was published, because I wrote the back cover. And this book is all about women's stories of adversity they went through and how they overcame it and what they learned. And one of the things that strikes me about this book is that there's a story in there for everyone. There's going to be one of these stories that you'll read and you'll say, yes, I went through that, or I know someone who went through that. My story, you might be able to relate to. But the thing that I love about the book is it gives you some takeaways of what you can do when you find yourself in that kind of situation. So it's Power Up Superwoman. There's stuff, I'll post something in the thread about it as well with the book cover. Oh, and I did a video about it. That's right. I did a video. So I'll post a video. I keep forgetting. I have this wonderful team that supports me, and they have to remind me, Lennis, remember that video we made about your magazine or your book? Don't forget to put that out there. So I will post that today. Okay, it's 7:48, and I got to go do the tech to get ready for my next show. I'm going to be on the Biz Chicks in just a few moments. If you guys don't belong to the Biz Chicks group, you should belong to the Biz Chicks group. It's for women who are entrepreneurs who need to be encouraged. And today, I believe, is the day when they talk about healthy stuff. And so I come on their show about once a month and talk about healthy stuff. So I'm getting ready to go to that show. But thank you for joining me on Lennis Minutes. I'll be here every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, spending a few minutes talking about those things that you can do to be well in your mind, body, and spirit as you age. Make sure that you keep checking out the things going on in the Wellness Woman group. Hello to all the new members. It's just awesome. It looks like 10 more people joined yesterday. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to getting to know you all. And for those of you who are listening to this broadcast that aren't in the Wellness Woman group, you need to be in the Wellness Women group. Just go to Facebook and put in the search bar Wellness Woman 40 and Beyond group and join us. Over 1,400 women from all over the world who have something to say about what it feels like to age, and also encouragement and empowerment for all of you, and great, really can-do information that you can try to make a difference in your life. Great tips. Oh, good. I always want to add value, so please let me know when something I'm saying makes sense. And I have one more request of you that I would love for you to do. Share the broadcast. Please share this broadcast with someone that you think could benefit from knowing some ideas on what they can do to chase away those feelings of anxiety and vulnerability as we age. I'll be back on Tuesday. I don't know what I'm going to talk about yet. Haven't done the editorial calendar yet, but guaranteed it's going to be something that I hope is going to be value added so that you can thrive as you age in your mind, body, and spirit. Share the broadcast. Thanks so much. Have fun in the group, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you have something to share, please comment below. For more Wellness Woman videos, be sure to click the subscribe button below and check out my Facebook group, Wellness Woman 40 and Beyond. But most importantly, don't forget to love yourself and educate, encourage, and empower your mind, body, spirit wellness.